Ronnie was beaten in the second round, but he was looking on to see if another record could fall. Hendry was in the final, hoping for a 7th title. Standing in his way, Ken Doherty. With only one title to his name, the affable Dubliner had been criticised for not making the most of his potential. Not this year.
Stephen Hendry has won the Embassy World Championship for the last 5 years. It looks like this man could take over this year. There's no better feeling in the world.
So Ken Doherty thoroughly deserves this Embassy World Championship title.
The victory had the whole of Dublin glued to their TV sets. It was reported that not one call was put through to Dublin's main police station that night.
It means everything. I mean, there's so many great players that have been and gone and have sort of never won it. When I actually won it, my sort of thoughts went flooding back to that day when I used to watch it as a kid, you know, and wondering and hoping that was the, you know, that's why I wanted to play snooker, was to play one day, hopefully become a professional and maybe play there, you know, would have been great enough, but to actually win it was, and you know, all their memories came flooding back. But you're there, you're sort of, you're marked down in the history books and your name is on that prestigious trophy, and nobody, whatever you can do, nobody can ever take that away from you, and it's something that you will, you know, relish and treat, and I'm sure everybody will keep reminding you of what they were doing today, particularly in Ireland, and anyway, because they all remember it more than most.
Ireland was preparing for a repeat of the festivities as Ken made the final the following year.
It's been a fantastic year. It's only on loan for a couple of weeks, all right?
Facing him was Scotland's John Higgins, who needed to win the title and see Hendry suffer a first-round exit in order to be #1 in the world. Well, Hendry was beaten in round 1, ironically by old foe Jimmy White. Next step for Higgins, the small matter of winning the world final.
Sustained excellence. And now the possibility that John Higgins could clinch the title with yet another century. He's already set a new record of 13 for the championship, superseding Stephen Hendry's 12.
Take the black, John. He doesn't need it. What a performance.
John Higgins clears with a break of 118. His father embraces him. His mother has already embraced him. John Higgins, champion of the world and world #1.
You've had mum and dad, you've had the tears, you've had the applause. Can you believe it?
No, it's still, just can't. It's unbelievable. Now you've watched over the years. And just amazing to come here. Now Ken's already done it now, and he's been a great champion, and I'm just thrilled to bits to beat a great champion like Ken.
You've broken records, more centuries. You've done all that here. You've become Embassy World Champion, #1. What are you going to do over the next few days?
Get drunk.
With the continued flowering of a new generation, Hendry was in danger of becoming yesterday's man. Earlier in the season, he'd been at rock bottom, following his 9-0 defeat by Marcus Campbell in the first round at the UK Championship. But you write Hendry off at your peril.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark J. Williams and Stephen Hendry.
Having seen off Ronnie in a classic semi-final, he met stablemate and friend Mark Williams in the final.
Pink and black to finish with a century. Not too bothered about that. He's just so pleased to have done it. Ray Reardon, 6 times world champion in the 70s. Steve Davis, 6 times in the 80s. But it's a magnificent 7 times for Stephen Hendry in the 90s. A standing ovation for that marvellous feat.
So I've never, gone around saying I'm the greatest player. I would never do that. But I once heard Tiger Woods say that if you're in the conversation where people are talking about who's the greatest player, then you've done your job. That's all you can ask for is to be in the debate. Whether someone will come along and win 7 world titles remains to be seen. But it's certainly a very proud feeling to have won more, certainly here at the Crucible, than anyone else.
I mean, what I'm concentrating on really is the photography and getting a good photograph. That's my aim, basically. It is very satisfying when it's a great photograph of someone like Hendry or Ronnie or one of the great players.
A new millennium, a new period of domination. With Hendry falling at the first hurdle to Crucible debutant Stuart Bingham, it was left to his good friend and the new world #1, Mark Williams, to battle past John Higgins in a tense semi and reach his 2nd successive final. And it was to be an all-Welsh affair, his final opponent, Matthew Stevens.
What a final we've had from these 2 Welsh wizards.
Matthew Stevens led 13-7. It was a commanding lead. Another couple of frames and it would have been an impregnable lead. But Mark Williams showed amazing resilience to recover, to win by 18 frames to 16.
Williams became the first left-hander to take the title and the first Welshman since Terry Griffiths in 1979. Williams fell foul of the Crucible curse while Ebden was making all the noise.
Come on! We haven't heard that for a while. We haven't heard that from Peter Ebden. That's how much it means to this man. He's back.
It was Higgins who made the final. Actually, he had an inkling that he would.
It was in a nightclub in Glasgow. One night I was in with my fiancée at the time, and she's now my wife. And I noticed this man, and he told me he was a clairvoyant sort of person, and he said he'd actually seen me playing Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final of this year's World Championship, and he said I was going to come out the winner. I hope it does come true.
Ronnie was indeed to be his final opponent. But what about the rest of the prediction?
He's got a lot of bottle, this player, I'll tell you. That was just pure tension.
It's 45. Higgins wondering whether he's going to get another shot. No mistake on what was effectively match ball that time. John Higgins was in first in this fray with 45. But Ronnie O'Sullivan clears up with 80. Ronnie O'Sullivan wins the Embassy World Championship. He beats John Higgins by 18 frames to 14 after a fabulous final. And how happy Ronnie must be after all his inner turmoils, all his troubles. This has been the fulfilment of an outstanding talent.
And a lot of people kept saying to me, you know, you're the best player never to win it. You will win it one day. Do you think it's your year? And it was getting to be quite a really boring question. So let's put all that to rest. And there, you know, it's just I'd like to win a few more. I'm just out there, and I really don't care. I don't care if I win, if I lose. You know, if I win, it's nice. But if I get beat, I've got other things to do.
O'Sullivan almost overturned the curse, but lost an ill-tempered semi-final to Stephen Hendry. Remember him? Hendry in the final against a more pensive Peter Ebdon. An 8th title for the Scot, or the first for Peter? The 34th frame, Ebdon leading 17-16.
He's missed it. That could be the end. Peter Ebdon, 24 ahead, 51 remaining. 2 reds, 2 colours would be enough. And Stephen hangs his head. Oh, dear, dear, dear. How's he missed that? Can you believe the tension?
30. Hendry's made many century breaks to win frames. That 29 break will give him more pleasure than any other break he's ever made.
So down to a very tense and very final frame.
Where's this white going? Foul. It's gone in.
Peter Ebdon, 4.
It's in. Well, Stephen hasn't come to the table. He'll give Peter his moment of glory, and that's what it is now. The brown's in. When he misses, he'll be congratulated as the Embassy Champion of the world. What a moment in the life of Peter Ebdon. Everything he's worked for, dreamt of, will become a reality. Pot this or not. It's over! 7 times world champion Stephen Hendry claps his hand and says, well done, Peter Ebdon. You are the Embassy Champion of the World. 2002. What a performance.
Congratulations, first of all. Now, you have been known to get quite excited here down the years. Are you holding it together okay at this stage?
Just about. I'm trying very hard, but just about. To be honest, it means the world to me. It's what I've been working for and dreaming about for the last 17 years. I must be a very slow learner, but I got there in the end.
2002 Embassy World Snooker Champion, Peter Ebdon.